Welcome to the road to 1 million US dollars. Let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today. Starting off on this 1 day time frame for Bitcoin, because right now we are seeing a massive pump to the upside after, of course, breaking this descending line of resistance that I was talking about all the way when we were as low as 53,000 US dollars. And so far, we have already pumped 19% to the upside for the Bitcoin price. And I think this is really funny to mention as well, because when we were trading down here, I was saying, guys, we have held this as a level of support. But at that time, everyone was bearish. And I was even seeing some people calling for 30K, 40K Bitcoin. And I was saying, guys, we first need to lose this as a level of support. And so long as we do not lose it as a level of support, it is completely possible that we go back to the top of the range once again, which as of the time of recording is sitting at 68.5K. And of course, so far we have seen a massive push to the upside. So what is going to happen next here for the Bitcoin price? Well, if you have been following my videos recently, you know that I confirmed this bullish divergence right here at 53K. However, I was saying that so long as we do not break above this previous high right here, we are technically still just in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. However, right now, you can see that the Bitcoin price is basically making this horizontal high on the 1 day time frame. So the ideal situation for the bulls here to become more confident that we are actually going further to the upside, ideally you would see something like this, where we convincingly push above this previous high, after which we make a higher low, so a low above this one right here, and then it is just blast off to the upside from there. So for now, it is a little bit in that in-between stage where, yes, we could say we are above this high, like these candle closes, but we haven't been above this wick so far. So that is ideally something that I'm looking out for in the market right now, although there are some warning signals that are starting to flash. But before I get to those warning signals, I would like to show you guys this 1 day RSI momentum indicator, because right now we are potentially breaking out from this descending line of resistance that we have been facing ever since this top right here for the Bitcoin price at about 73K. So if we get a daily candle close above, maybe a retest of that trend line once again, and then a bounce off from there, this would be a massively bullish signal for the Bitcoin price. However, this breakout has not been confirmed as far as I'm concerned, because we haven't had a daily candle close above. And secondly, I would love to see something like this where we actually retest this level and then blast off from there. Now, of course, we aren't guaranteed to get that. We could just send straight into overbought territory here. Now, as for this warning signal, first of all, Bitcoin is running exactly into this short-term level of resistance, sitting at about 63.6K. So this is an important price level to pay attention to, because it is this previous high right here and this low as well. So pay attention to that. And in the case that you see Bitcoin breaking through this, then likely we are heading up into this next big level of resistance, sitting from 65K all the way up to 66,000 US dollars for the Bitcoin price. If we get a rejection down from here, then likely we are going to fall into this next big level, which I have not marked as a level of support yet, because we haven't had something like this where we get a rejection and then a bounce from here, confirming that this is actually a level of support and not just a level where we are going to fall straight down into this actual level of support below it, right? So that is something that I'm waiting for to see what is going to happen there. Anyway, so this big level sitting from 62.4K all the way down to 60,000 US dollars for the Bitcoin price. And in terms of another warning signal here, if we take a look at the RSI momentum indicator once again, this time on the 4-hour time frame, you can see that right now we are in overbought territory. And typically what you see when we are in overbought territory, eventually you need to see the RSI kind of reset back down to around this 50 level, for example, on this 4-hour time frame here. And the way the RSI resets is either by some choppy sideways price action, or potentially even a little bit of bearish momentum. So in the case of choppy sideways price action, you will see something like this, where we trend down slowly. And in the case of a move to the downside, the RSI will reset back down more quickly. And in fact, even can go below this 50 level right here, because whenever we are at 50, it means that we are seeing neutral or basically choppy sideways price action. And of course, below 50, it means that we are in a downtrend on this time frame. Now, one thing that I should note about this overbought territory right here, sometimes we stay there for a very short amount of time. However, we can actually stay in overbought territory for quite some time, as you can see right here. However, most of the time you see a dip into overbought, then reset, a dip into overbought, and then reset, a dip into overbought, and then reset, right? So that is usually what you will see on the 4-hour time frame. And one last warning signal for now for the Bitcoin price is actually this gap right here, because right now we are looking at the Bitcoin CME futures chart. And as you can see right here, the date on the 12th of July, so on Friday, we closed the market right here at about 57.9K, and then we opened the market at about 61,000 US dollars. So there is a gap in between the close price of last week and the open price of this week on Monday. And typically what you will see is that we get a closing of that CME gap somewhere during the following week. So right now is Monday, so until Friday, between now and then, over 90% of the time, you actually see the Bitcoin price trading back down to actually close this gap right here. But of course, the CME gap only gets closed 9 out of 10 times. So maybe this is that 1 out of 10 time where actually we are just going in up only mode and we are not going to close the CME gap first. So I'm just telling you guys the warning signals that I see in the charts and things to look out for. And you guys can do with that information what you like. Now, in terms of the Fibonacci levels on this 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin, you can see that right now we are above this 0.5 level, sitting at 62.6K. So this is an important price level to pay attention to if we get a little bit of a pullback here to see if this level holds. And if the pump just continues, then the next Fibonacci level is going to be the 0.618 Fibonacci level, sitting at 64.8K. And this is actually the Fibonacci golden pocket right here for this downtrend. So make sure to pay attention, because this is going to act as a critical level of resistance, where if you see it break through, it will be a very bullish indication. And of course, if we get a rejection, then you need to start looking at these lower Fibonacci levels once again. So again, that 64.8K level is important to pay attention to as well. So before I continue with the Bitcoin analysis here, if you want to get access to my trading signal, you can join it for free with the first link in the description of this video. You simply join the Discord link. And after that, you go to this trading signals access channel and you follow these 3 steps right here. You can get access to my trading signals completely for free. Now moving on with the Bitcoin analysis here, taking a look at the liquidation heat maps, first of all, on this 24-hour time frame, where right now, we have taken out a lot of liquidity to the upside on this time frame, at least, sitting as high as 63.5K. And of course, if you've been watching my videos recently, you know that when we were taking out those big levels of liquidity to the upside, we saw at least a little bit of a move down. Here you can see a small example of that, where we took out this upside liquidity right here and then got a bit of a move down to take out some liquidity right here once again. So potentially that is what we are seeing right now. We have some liquidity sitting at 62,000 US dollars, and we go all the way as low on this time frame, at least, as 60,000 US dollars for the Bitcoin price. And zooming out to the 1 week time frame, most of the liquidity is in fact to the downside, with about $1 billion worth of long positions that lose their money on their trade in the case that the Bitcoin price goes back down to 56.4K. And in the case that you don't know, typically the Bitcoin price gets attracted to where there is the most liquidity on this chart. And on this 1 week time frame, that is to the downside at 56.4K. However, if we zoom out just a little bit to this 3-month time frame, then you can see that in fact most of the liquidity is still to the upside, sitting as high as 72.3K, with about $5.5 billion worth of shorts that get liquidated in the case that the Bitcoin price reaches that level. Now, if you have been following my videos over the past week or two, even when we were trading all the way down here, I was saying, guys, there is a crazy amount of liquidity to the upside. And I just think that so long as we hold the descending channel that I was talking about earlier in the video, so long as we hold this level of support, I think it is likely that we are going to take out all of this liquidity to the upside at some point. And so far, we have already started that process right here, taking out close to $3 billion worth of shorts out of the market, and there's even more liquidity sitting at these levels right here. So obviously the last couple weeks, the Road to 1 million community has just been winning like crazy. And let's see if we actually take out all of this liquidity at 72K. But don't forget about those warning signals that I was talking about earlier in the video as well. Don't forget to join the Discord community and get access to my trading signals for free. And I will see you again tomorrow in the next one.